is CTV News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The City of Windsor has kicked off its annual ward meetings, giving the public an opportunity to bring their issues directly to their representatives. This year, the city is merging different wards together, holding combined meetings. Now, Robert Lothian was at tonight's meeting for wards 2 and 3. What was the focus there tonight, Robert?
Well, Carlyle, these are areas that often receive a lot of focus for challenges surrounding housing as well as homelessness. While these issues are still present, councillors feel they are starting to see some progress. In Windsor's core, residents of wards 2 and 3 say there are several issues looming large.
What I would like to see is more police presence. I want to see more police presence in this area.
Complex of tiny homes for the homeless people. When is Windsor going to get off the dime and do the same thing?
Homelessness, housing and addictions taking center stage at the city's first ward meeting. With Councillor-elect Fraser Fathers winning his seat on Monday night, most of Tuesday's questions were directed at Councillor Ronaldo Agostino.
Things are happening. Yeah, it's small. But when's the last time you thought of downtown where you can get in a room of residents where there's a lot of positive things being said? It's been a long time.
Agostino feels his ward has made progress largely through the Strength in the Core plan, intent on revitalizing the downtown. With 1 year left on council, he says the priority is now clear.
Housing, housing, housing. That's why I joined the board of CHC. Housing. I want to see more housing. I want to get these developments over the finish line. The council revealing Tuesday a new development may be on the rise. Last year, the city began seeking interest to transform a block of land on Karen Avenue into housing. Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkins says that's coming to fruition.
Council has made a decision on Karen Avenue, so we're just working with the proponent to actually have the official announcement there. But there's lots of excitement, lots of interest. Even though there's a tariff war and there's all sorts of uncertainty out there, we still see people and developers who are interested in developing, including in downtown.
Both Councillor Agostino and Mayor Dilkins say help from other levels of government is needed to continue on with this momentum. Windsor's next ward meeting is set for November 6th, involving councillors from wards 4, 5, as well as 10. Carlyle.
Robert Lothian, thank you very much. A local hospital is getting rid of its 2 cafeterias, a measure officials say was taken in the name of saving money. With more on that decision and the impact for employees, here's Travis Fortnum.
At Hotel de Grace Healthcare, the smell of coffee and the chatter from the cafeteria have long been part of the hospital's rhythm. But soon, that's all going to change as the hospital prepares to shut down its 2 cafeterias, replacing 6 employees with vending machines.
Very upsetting. Them are good jobs. They're Monday to Friday jobs. A lot of high seniority people been in them jobs.
Ken DeRocher is president of Unifor Local 2458, the union representing the impacted workers, 5 full-time, 1 part-time. He says a few are being offered retirement packages, with others given the option to move into different unionized roles. The hospital acknowledges the change won't be easy, with CEO Bill Mara telling CTV News in a statement this was an extremely difficult but necessary decision. The decommissioning of the 2 cafeterias, one in the Tayfor building and one in Amara, will begin in December. Mara says the move follows direction from Ontario's Ministry of Health to identify cost-saving measures, shifting the hospital's food services team to focus entirely on patient care. Windsor Regional, Erie Shores and Blue Water Health have already outsourced their food services.
For the staff that are there, it's upsetting, it's frustrating. It's just from providing patient care. You definitely want to get off your unit, and that's for all staff. Not just nursing, all healthcare professionals.
Ontario Nurses Association Regional Vice President John Lau says it's not just staff who will feel the impact, patients too. As for what's next, Mara says Crave Markets will renovate the existing Tayfor cafeteria space at no cost to Hotel de Grace Healthcare into a self-serve micro market that will operate 24/7. He says that changeover will start after that cafeteria closes for good at the end of day December 12th. And when the Crave Market is up and running, the cafeteria in the Amara building will close, with plans for that space still to be determined. Travis Fortnum, CTV News.
A tense interaction at an Amherstburg council meeting yesterday. A recent report was brought up detailing an incident where multiple town employees heard a committee member use a misogynistic slur in reference to one of their colleagues. As Sanjay Maru reports, the incident has been made public, but who made the comment has not.
I don't think that a member of the public, and I don't think a member of a town committee should go to a town event on town property and say to town employees that one of their coworkers is
a shocking choice of words to hear inside council chambers. The recent incident happened at the Libro Center during an open house with staff and members of the public nearby. A town report says multiple employees overheard the remark and moved to make sure the situation did not escalate. All names, including who said the offensive remark and who it was directed to, have been redacted from the report.
It's offensive, it's hurtful, it's aggressive, it's misogynistic. And we have an obligation as employers to protect our staff.
Before Monday's council meeting, the matter was expected to be discussed in private, but a slight majority of Amherstburg Council voted to move it to public session, citing a need for transparency and a clear message about how town employees should be treated. Once the matter was brought into the open, the next question became what to do about it.
In the past, we have never, ever discussed employees or committee members ever in public. In 17 years I've been on council, this has never happened. I believe we're setting ourselves up to major litigation.
Your Worship, I'll move that this committee member in question is removed from the committee.
That motion failed, leading to a separate vote which referred the matter to the Integrity Commissioner for a full investigation.
This is an egregious breach.
In Amherstburg, Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Amherstburg councillors have also closed the door on a proposal to build a new town hall, redeveloping the former General Amherst High School. The current building is more than 60 years old. There were two options on the table last night, and both were rejected. One involved community space inside the new development, costing about $14 million. The other included a library for nearly $15 million. Councillors voted to instead explore cheaper options.
I don't think we should be spending $6 million to fix this building and $1.84 million if the only choice is to go to the Libro. I don't think this makes good economic sense, and I can't support it. I know what's being proposed tonight appears to be going down the tubes, and that so be it.
Hurricane Melissa was downgraded to a Category 4 storm this afternoon after making landfall in Jamaica as a Category 5. As Joy Malbon reports, in more than 150 years of record keeping, the island nation has never seen a storm like this.
Hurricane Melissa smashed into Jamaica with a fury this island nation has never seen. The most powerful storm on the planet brought flooding rain, storm surge, and ferocious winds, hammering popular resort areas, ripping off roofs, uprooting trees and swamping streets, and damaging local hospitals.
We're getting videos of and pictures of severely damaged public infrastructure, hospitals, places of safety. Homes are inundated and flooded.
Officials say only 15,000 people evacuated to shelters, reluctant to leave their homes. And with airports closed, thousands of tourists were left stranded, packed into hotels.
Here is our home away from home as we shelter through the storm.
Some took it all in stride, like Canadian Alex Green.
Oh, I feel low stakes in my resort. I've been told they have a generator and a backup generator and a backup generator for the backup generator.
The storm moved painfully slow, worsening the devastation as it tore through the island.
Flooding is a major issue, not to mention the infrastructure damage of our road network and our bridges and, of course, obviously structures.
The massive storm pushing past Jamaica into Cuba and other islands, the sheer force of it has even stunned some scientists.
They produce 20 to 30% more flooding rains because of the warming of the planet. So the impacts are no longer subtle. We're seeing them play out in the devastating consequences of these storms.
Jamaica's prime minister declared his entire country a disaster area, but says it's still too dangerous to send out search and rescue crews. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Washington.
Meanwhile, Windsor residents with family in the storm's path are waiting for updates from those loved ones. And with more on that, here's Chris Campbell.
It's being described as one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes in recorded history. A Category 5 storm devastating communities across Jamaica.
Last night was around, I think, after 9. Somewhere about was the last time I spoke to my mom.
Steve Bramwell owns Stelly's Cuisine and Catering in Windsor. He says business is far from his mind as he waits for word from his mother and brother, as well as other family back home.
We wish, all the best throughout this hurricane and that everybody will come out safely on the other side when this is all said and done. And our prayers are with them as they face, this time of hurricane season and what's happening.
Windsor resident Colin Vassell is also following the situation closely. His sister lives in Redbury.
She's a prayer warrior, so she was actually laughing with me, saying that no matter what, God is going to take her through, and, it's all in God's hands. So that's what we're doing. We're just praying and hoping for the best.
It's the most powerful storm on planet Earth this year of 2025.
CTV Windsor meteorologist Gary Archibald doesn't expect Hurricane Melissa to make its way to this part of North America.
It's really not going to have any impact over land in Canada. The steering wind patterns will keep it out over the Atlantic. The next stop is eastern Cuba, Bahamas, and then it may even make a beeline towards Bermuda and then stay out over the open Atlantic. The worst of it is the Atlantic coast will get some pretty good wave heights out of it. The surfers are going to love it.
We are definitely warning our clients.
Local travel agents say flights to and from the Caribbean are being delayed or rerouted as the storm continues to churn, but some clients are escaping the country early on their own dime.
This is the worst hurricane to hit Jamaica since 1988, I believe. So we definitely are praying for our tourist friends and the whole country. And as a matter of fact, down in Jamaica, that they go through this safely.
God will work it out, as we trust in Him as always.
Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Still ahead, using science to smash pumpkins. The students taking their classwork to the extreme. That's later on CTV News. And Gary Archibald is with me tonight, coming off another day with plenty of sunshine, nice temperatures, but it is getting cool and chilly overnight.
You're right about that. Temperatures down to maybe 4 degrees pre-dawn, Carlyle. So we're concerned about some of those more vulnerable species of plants, shrubs, trees even in your garden, on your property. So wrapping them up, always a good idea. And of course, the furry friends like it warm and cozy indoors too. 14 degrees in Windsor, about 13 and a half in Chatham-Kent and the surrounds, mostly lower teens. Our average high is closer to 13, so we were a degree above seasonal. The low today was a cool 5 degrees, but that's a degree above average for this time of the year. Ridge of high pressure is massive, encompassing essentially Ontario and Quebec and just south of Lake Erie, due east towards the mid-Atlantic coast in the USA. And that's why we've seen a lot of blue sky overhead in fair weather cloud, if we see it at all. Minimal. Not much to see through the overnight. Mostly clear conditions, in fact. The good news is tomorrow starts off with some sunshine, but clouds infiltrate our airspace, bringing rain showers. I would say midday cloudiness. By 3 or 4 p.m., rain moving in, and it will be substantial, maybe 10 to 15, some areas 20 millimeters of rainfall. So the afternoon is wet. We are cool, as mentioned, and breezy through the overnight under a mostly clear sky across extreme southwestern Ontario. The breakdown for tomorrow works this way. Some computer models suggesting we'll get up to about 13. I think the showers do start, in fact, over Pelee Island, Kingsville, Leamington, Amherstburg, our friends along the northwestern shores of Lake Erie. And the rain's continuing through supper time, 6, 7, and beyond. So we'll see some fair weather for the morning, midday, and afternoon, but there's some cloudiness coming. And then the rains for the evening, overnight, into a soggy, wet, cloudy, and much cooler Thursday. Thursday's wet early and through the midday, and lingering showers for Friday. A secondary system moves in for Saturday. The clouds linger for Sunday, and another system moves in. Look at these temperatures. Yeah, we'll get down to about 3 degrees. Some areas might even see a frost advisory. We'll see how that unfolds over the next little while. Keep the umbrellas nearby for the afternoon, early evening tomorrow and beyond. Let's look at your 7-day forecast tonight.
Thanks, Gary. Officials with Canada Post have announced dozens of managers are losing their jobs, part of broader company restructuring. A memo was sent to employees early this morning saying the company is moving ahead with layoffs to align with the organization's future needs. There was no mention of how many employees are losing their jobs. Meanwhile, post office and union officials are expected to get back to the bargaining table later this week in the midst of rotating national strike action. Amazon officials say they're cutting 14,000 jobs while ramping up investment in artificial intelligence. Most of the job losses will come from the company's corporate workforce. Officials say they had overhired during the pandemic, and they're now trying to slim down. This would be Amazon's largest job cut since 2022, when 27,000 positions were eliminated. And those cuts come at a time when young people in this country are struggling to find work. As Kathy Lee reports, they're hoping for some support in next week's federal budget.
I've been rejected at Superstore twice.
It's a small but sharp blow to her confidence. Rejection message after rejection message. The sting lingers.
I'd go there in person, I'd write cover letters, talk to the hiring manager, and nothing.
16-year-old Alexandra D. has submitted close to 100 applications this year and only recently landed something.
It's really hard to get a minimum wage job.
Jaden White knows the struggle too well. He went months without a stable job.
It's definitely discouraging. You kind of feel that you're not going to have a future in this country.
And after applying for hundreds of entry-level positions, no luck for this post-secondary student.
The best way I could just do is just hold on to hope, keep applying for jobs.
According to Statistics Canada, the youth unemployment rate was 15% in September. Excluding the pandemic years, that's the highest rate since 2010.
It's harder for new job seekers to find work. Young people are especially vulnerable to that, environment where firms aren't necessarily hiring new workers.
The number of positions that firms are trying to fill down 15% compared to last year.
The market's just becoming more and more saturated. Applications are coming in fast and furiously for every position.
In a statement, the Federal Jobs and Families Ministry says it has a plan that includes generating and protecting hundreds of thousands of jobs, connecting Canadians to opportunities faster, and upskill and train workers. With the federal budget nearing, Brody Gomez is counting on support.
It's finding solutions that align with not only Canadians, but also businesses.
For Alexandra, she's off the job hunt hamster wheel for now.
I'm definitely relieved.
And hopes the process is a bit easier the next time. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
The provincial government is promising to match a federal promise, taking off some taxes for new homebuyers.
Ontario's new rebate would temporarily remove the full 8% of the provincial portion of the HST for first-time home buyers on qualifying new homes valued up to $1 million. So for a new home valued at $1 million, that means a savings of up to $80,000 in provincial tax relief.
The Ontario tax break hinges on the federal government passing the same measure in that upcoming budget. The relief would be retroactive to the end of May and carry through the end of 2030, an attempt at motivating home builders to speed up construction. The province also wants to scrap fixed election dates and increase how much political parties can receive in donations. Ontario's Attorney General says fixed election dates are American style and claims doing away with them would better position the province to respond to changing circumstances and threats. The Attorney General did not make clear what exactly would change, if anything. The bill would also increase the amount an individual can give to a political party from $3,400 to $5,000. Canada's main stock index finished higher, helped by strength in the technology sector. The TSX was up 143 points. In New York, the Dow rose 161. The Nasdaq gained 190. Canadian dollar up almost 1/5 cent. On commodities, gold fell below the $4,000 an ounce mark, while oil dropped $1.16 a barrel. A Windsor man was arrested last night at London's film festival screening of a documentary about his exploits as a so-called vigilante. Police say Jason Nasser breached his release conditions by attending the screening of Shame at the Forest City Film Festival. He was previously convicted of harassment, extortion, and child pornography, given a conditional sentence and house arrest. Police say he was also ordered to stay away from the victims' families, who were also in attendance last night. A film shot at the Old Chatham Jail is about to premiere 2 years after it started production.
Figures you dum-dums come waltzing in. Stir up trouble, but friend. Damn.
We're gonna be so famous.
Fresh Meat is about a group of influencers who break into a prison who are then hunted by a cannibalistic inmate. The director calls it a horror comedy set for its big screen debut this Saturday at Chatham's Capitol Theatre. It's also been selected to screen at Toronto's Horror Film Festival.
Blood in the Snow is probably one of the biggest horror genre film festivals out there. It really does cater to horror fanatics from both Canada. This specific festival really highlights Canadian horror genre. Which is also very enticing to the world, because the world of horror loves to see what everyone else is doing in the foreign market, and this is one of those festivals that really draws a lot of attention.
Meanwhile, a documentarian from Chatham, Kent is working on a project about a tragedy in Dresden. Dresden 1957 is about an excavation explosion that killed 6 Dutch immigrant workers. The film crew started working in June 2023. They're now raising $60,000 to fund their post-production work. The director says they interviewed 40 family members, witnesses, and experts while completing a 3D scan of the area where the explosion happened. For more on that story, you can head to ctvnewswindsor.ca. Country music singer Charlie Crockett will play the Coliseum at Caesars Windsor next year.
So many nights I can't remember. Maybe I played a song for you.
Crockett is Grammy nominated and has gone from a street performer to headlining major venues across the U.S. His show in Windsor is set for Sunday, March 1st, and tickets go on sale Friday. Winterization work is underway on the City Hall Square fountain. According to Windsor's mayor, as soon as weather permits, the city will start getting the rink ready, which will replace the one at Charles Clark Square. He also says city crews will be monitoring the ice conditions throughout the winter in case it gets too warm, and the upgraded lighting system should make for an improved skating experience.
We think the public's going to love it. We know they love the water feature this summer. They're going to love the ice rink, which is the replacement for the Charles Clark Square rink. And we look forward to having everyone down at City Hall to enjoy their new amenity.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
And back with Gary now before we go tonight for one more look at the 7-day forecast. Gary.
Carlyle, I think tonight's going to be a relatively quiet night, mostly clear, breezy though. Let's say winds in that 15 to 20, 25K range with gusts maybe in the 30s. And then winds subside tomorrow morning and then pick up in the afternoon. Pardon me, the late morning, early afternoon. The temperature forecast, 13, that's seasonal, but the late afternoon, evening, and night will be clouding over with showers, which will linger through Thursday. We'll get cooler on Thursday, only 9 degrees the high, and then a bit of a roller coaster with temperatures still below seasonal. Thursday through to Tuesday next week, rain through the weekend, and more showers to start next week. Wherever you are, keep those umbrellas nearby, and extra layers as wet weather and cooler temperatures are en route.
Thanks, Gary. And finally tonight, 2 young students taking their homework very seriously. They've built a huge catapult capable of launching pumpkins across a park. However, as Sean Irvin reports, they're still going through a lot of trial and error.
Big or small?
Big.
These grade 7 boys are picking the ammunition they need for their contraption designed to squash the competition. It is a trebuchet, or if you'd like it simplified, a powerful and accurate catapult designed to hurl pumpkins to a splattering end.
Was that your goal, boys, to build the biggest one?
Yeah, and hopefully it go the farthest.
The catapult idea comes from a long-standing annual assignment for students at Wortley Road Public School. Casper DePerawa and Connor Schwartz grew up watching senior students build catapults. But now that it's their turn, they're out to break the record. After being handed the assignment, they went to Connor's dad, Dave.
Connor came home and said, hey, let's build a catapult. And I smiled and we started.
Following a design created by the boys, the trio took 3 weeks to build their custom pumpkin chucker. Throughout the project, the boys have followed science.
Kind of learning about like getting hands-on and geometry, weight, physics, and all this other stuff.
If we can get them interested in physics early on, then that carries on through their whole high school career.
As will the memory of what they've built here.
It's pretty exciting when you're launching a 10-pound pumpkin hundreds of feet.
But as often happens in science, things can go awry. And in this case, not even a pumpkin patch could help. Despite having plenty of pumpkins to launch, it just wasn't the boys' day. While it appears the catapult worked just fine, the pumpkin went sideways. Worse, the winch cable snapped, forcing an early end to the day.
Things don't work out. It's trial and error.
But because we all want to see a pumpkin fly, here's a look at some earlier attempts captured by a cell phone. Next up for this crew is the afternoon competition at school.
We've got a lot more pumpkins to launch and smash, so Thursday will be the day.
But should somehow things again go sideways, they take solace in knowing there is always a consolation prize after a food fight.
Do either of you like pumpkin pie?
It's my favorite pie.
It's your favorite? Well, you're going to have a little bit of leftovers.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.